Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm doing a mini project choosing my top 20 Elton John songs from each decade. Now, I've already done the 1970s, and thanks for your reaction to those. I'm going to be doing a follow-up video very shortly. But today I'm turning my attention to the 1980s. Now we have 9 studio albums to consider, starting with 21 at 33, which came out in 1980, going all the way through to Sleeping with the Past in 1989. Along the way, we need to consider also the very best of Elton John. That's this one, a double disc compilation, a love songs compilation, and greatest hits volume 3. So let's get going. So remember, this is just my personal choice, and I welcome your list as well. Now, before I get into the top 20, I need to do some honourable mentions. So I'm going to single out one or two songs which almost made it into my top 20, but not quite. So the first one I'm going to mention is one from the 21 at 33 album. And it's another one of Elton's story songs. It's Two Rooms at the End of the World. Now, this is one that talks about the relationship between Bernie and Elton. They hadn't been songwriting together for a while. It's almost as if they were in different parts of the world. However, they come through this and emerge as a strong pairing, strong songwriting pairing. So I like that, and I like the way it tells a story. I would say, though, generally in the 1980s, Elton songs are moving away from that storytelling tradition which was so popular in the 1970s. So we're thinking of songs like Goodbye Laverick Road, Indian Sunset, Leave On, those sort of songs which have kind of a thread running through them, to some sort of, still attractive songs, but not necessarily ones that, give you that impactful story. So what else have I got on my honourable mentions list? Well, from the Jump Up album here that came out in 1984, we've got Blue Eyes, which of course is a very familiar Elton track, which I like but didn't make my top 20. And another good one, Where Have All the Good Times Gone, which Elton redid in a kind of faster version. Again, a pretty good deep cut, that one. And the other one I need to mention, of course, is Empty Garden, the tribute to John Lennon. And I know a lot of you out there are huge fans of that track. Again, I like it, but it just didn't make my final 20 cut there. From this album, The Red Strikes Back, I would mention Mona Lisa's and Mad Hatter's Part 2. Much sort of funkier version, a much funkier follow-up to the original song on Honky Chateau, of course. It's another story about New York City, this one, and I like the way they go together. Elton has performed together. And another good one from here is Heavy Traffic, which is quite an unusual song for Elton. Very intricate and varied harmonies in that one, but I think that the whole thing hangs together pretty well. So honourable mention for that one. And from the LP next to me, Ice on Fire, I would mention Nikita, of course, which was a bit of a sort of slow burn ballad he did, looking at the relationship between the East and the West in the Cold War. We've got Cry to Heaven, another powerful ballad on here, and one that wasn't on any of the original LPs, but The Man Who Never Died was an instrumental kind of follow-up to Song for Guy in a way, but a pretty accomplished track, which I've enjoyed. Now, a little taster here for what's to come. In the top 20 that I've chosen, there will be one song that was a B-side. Okay, I wonder if you can think, if you want to stop the tape now and have a think, which B-side might I have chosen from the 1980s to be in my top 20? Okay, number 20, I'm going to the Red Strikes Back album, and it's the song I Don't Want to Go On With You Like That. This is the story of somebody who's fed up in a relationship. They're not going to take any more. They're angry, and that anger comes through on this song. It's a good upbeat song by Elton, electric sort of piano performance in this. Interesting video he produced for this, with a succession of rooms next to each other. The verse is very similar to the refrain. I don't mind that too much. It's quite good to listen to. I enjoy that track. Now, we're going to number 19 in my chart, and we're going to the title track on Breaking Hearts. This is a beautiful ballad. Breaking Hearts ain't what it used to be. Elton at his finest. You know, it's not a brilliant album, this one, but it's still a lovely ballad. This about the breakdown of a relationship and all about love. Now, number 18, you may be surprised, but I'm going to Leather Jackets. Now, even on a disappointing album like this, there's still some good tracks, and I'm going for the track Go It Alone. Now, you might not like this one, but I really do enjoy this one. It's got a very heavy bass in it. It's got some delicious harmonies in there. And during a time when perhaps Elton wasn't producing his best work, I still like this one. It's rousing, it's powerful, it's good to listen to when you have the volume turned up a little bit. Now, number 17, we are going to be listening to the well-known song Sad Songs, which is number 10, track number 10 on Breaking Hearts. Now, what can we say about this? Sad songs say so much. I remember this record coming out when Watford were in the FA Cup final here in the UK. They were playing this song a lot. It's about nostalgia. It's about the importance of music in our lives, and it's a delightful melody. And the whole thing is a very enjoyable production. Really good video with this as well. Then we come to number 16, and I'm going to the 21 at 33 album for the lovely ballad Little Genie. It's smooth, it's comfortable, it's well sung, it's laid back, and it's a lovely song, and that's my 16. At number 15, we're going to Too Low for Zero for, I guess that's why they call it the blues. I'm sure you're very familiar with this song. It's an accomplished piece of songwriting. Again, it's about a relationship, missing somebody. It's got the Stevie Wonder harmonica solo in it. It's got that bluesy soul sort of feel to it. Perhaps not Elton's natural territory, but it works really well. Now, number 14, I'm going to Leather Jackets, and I'm going to the track Paris. Now, amongst some disappointing tracks on this album, there is this atmospheric kind of reconstruction of life in Paris. A strong lyric for this one, and Elton's given it a good setting. And if you don't know this deep track, you might want to give it a little bit of a listen. Now, number 13, we're going to Sleeping with the Past and the wondrously uplifting track Healing Hands. It's about redemption, it's about feeling better, it's about love and friendship and positivity, and it's a great one to listen to when perhaps things aren't going too well for you. Now, number 12 in my chart is going to be a surprise because it's not on any original LP. It's the song called The Retreat. Now, if you've ever listened to this, it's kind of a story about possibly about the Civil War. It's about somebody who's fought in battle, possibly retreating from the front or going back. Elton gives this a really good treatment. It's a very strong melody, strong harmonically as well, and a good lyric. Possibly his best B-side, or his best B-side that hasn't appeared on an original album. So again, if you haven't had a listen to this one, give it a go. Now, I've got to go now to number 11, and we're going to the Fox album, makes an appearance, and I've chosen Elton's Song. This is again another beautiful, slow ballad. It's about kind of obsession in a way. It's about one person thinking a lot about another person, but perhaps that love not being requited. So this is again another very strong track on what is a pretty strong album. So at number 10, perhaps a bit of a left field choice, I don't know, but I'm going back to the 21 at 33 album and the track Give Me the Love. It's the closing track. Very much a disco feel to this. And of course, we always think of Victim of Love on those occasions. This is a superior disco song. And as I've argued before, this could have appeared on Victim of Love and kind of improved the whole experience of that. But a pretty strong song. The lyrics don't really add up to much, but it's a nice feel to it. Good bit of brass on there as well. So we're going now to number 9 in my chart. We're going to Ice on Fire for a song that was considered for a Bond song but didn't make it in the end, but it's the song Shoot Down the Moon. Again, it's the closing track. Very strong, atmospheric. It's got a Bond feel to it. It's in a minor key. It's got a dramatic vocal from Elton. You can imagine the sort of Bond opening titles going quite well with this song. So it's a pretty good one there. Right, we're now going to number 8, going to the Breaking Hearts album and the song In Neon. One of Elton's very best refrains, actually. Very powerful song. It's about somebody who's sort of seeking stardom, expect to see their name up in lights, that sort of thing. But again, it's a good track, standout track on that particular album. Now we are going to number 7, and we're going to Too Low for Zero, and of course no top 20 will be complete without I'm Still Standing. We all know about this song. It's about fighting back against the odds. It's about sticking in there when things are difficult, and it's become a bit of an anthem, I suppose, over the past couple of years when times have been hard. So it's still a great track, and of course very good live. Track number 6 in my top 20 is going to be from Sleeping with the Past album, and it's going to be the sublime Blue Avenue. It's again the closing track. It's quite interesting how often the strongest track is that closer. This again is very atmospheric. It's about a breakdown in relationships. And again, quite an unusual setting this for Elton. But he's taking risks, isn't he, with some of these songs, both melodically and harmonically. And it's a really good listen if you don't know that particular track. Okay, it's top 5 time now. Number 5, we're going to the Jump Up album and the wonderful track Legal Boys, written along with Sir Tim Rice. This is a story song about the lawyers moving in and clearing up when there's been a breakdown in a marriage. It's the legal boys who have won again when you and I have lost. It's a good, tight lyric, very interesting and powerful setting from Elton, and I really enjoy that track. Now, number 4 in my top 20, we're going back to the Fox and the very exciting Nobody Wins. I suppose a little bit like Go It Alone, that type of track. Elton's not on the piano in here, but again, it's really powerful, great harmonies in there, exciting to listen to. Elton did a version of this in French as well. That's quite interesting, but a really good track, one of my favourites. Number 3 in my top 20 is going to be from the same album. Now, people who regularly follow my videos will know I'm perhaps the only Elton John fan to like this song. I'm not sure, but I'm still going to stick with it. It's Just Like Belgium. Great fun song, reminiscent of a visit to Europe. There's a wonderful video in this where Elton's in some sort of underground club having a great time at the piano there. I love the lyrics to this. It's just a fun song, great piano in it, and it's just exciting, and it typifies Elton in the 80s, I think. So only 2 tracks left. So number 2, we're going back to the Sleeping with the Past album, and the wonderful, almost perfect pop song here, Club at the End of the Street. A great lyric from Bernie, again recreating that atmosphere of going out on a Saturday night, going to a place where you've got friends and you're made to feel welcome. Great melody to this as well. It's really tight. It all fits together so well. Good vocal from Elton. So that's a fine song. What could be number 1? Well, it surprised me a bit in a way. I went through grading each of these songs I've written down from each album, and the one that came out on top was from 21 at 33, and it's the song Sartorial Eloquence. Bit of a surprise maybe, but again, this is another one. It's about snappy dressing, isn't it? What it says about you. Really strong refrain. It's a beautiful verse as well. Okay, the lyrics don't mean a great deal, but it's just got a great pop feel to it. The whole thing fits together really well. It's difficult to play on the piano because I think it's in D flat major. It's not the easiest key to play in, but I like it a lot. So that's my top 20 of Elton John songs from the 1980s. Please send your contributions in, either your whole top 20, or if you haven't got time for that, just send me your top 5. I'll do a reaction video so we can find out what your favourite song is as well from the 1980s. That's it for now. I'm going to be visiting the 1990s very soon, but don't forget, we're still standing.